Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you all are doing well today. Elliot here. Welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So I figured I'd have a little bit of fun today. How many of you have ever tried to match your fragrance to a specific color? Don't lie to me, I know you've done it before. Listen, I do think fragrances can actually emulate certain wavelengths in the brain that might make you think of a certain color. Now, this is going to be a little bit cultural. Obviously, the color schemes I'm going to use for today and what I'm going to tie them to, could be tied to how we think about certain things here in the United States. So I understand there can be differences. Obviously, this can be totally subjective, but again, we're just having fun today. I'm just doing something a little bit different. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the colors in the visible color spectrum, and I'm gonna match a fragrance to those colors based on whatever I describe when I go to the fragrance. So let's go ahead and get it started. But before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you do like the content, and please hit that bell icon, enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. All right, first up is going to be the color red. I think spicy, warm, passionate, cozy, maybe something that's a little bit more attuned to cool weather. Went with this one right here. A lot of options I could have went with, but I chose this from the house of By Kilian. It's Angel Share. By Kilian, Angel Share makes me think of the color red. So this has everything I just kind of mentioned. It's spicy, lots of spices in this, cinnamon, for example. It's quite sweet. It's a little bit boozy as well. It definitely is woody, kind of a smoky woody feel, kind of meant to emulate whiskey in a barrel, and also just this kind of festive holiday nature in terms of the United States with the way the spices come across. All of that coming together makes me think of the color red because that's just how I envision the color red. And also, as you can see, I tried not to just simply pick a fragrance bottle that matches the color because I think that can influence your thinking as well. Couldn't completely do it, but at least for this one, it's not a red bottle, but this fragrance makes me think of the color red. Once again, from the house of By Kilian, this is Angel Share. All right, so the next color is going to be orange. Kind of hard to put orange into a category overall. I was thinking fall and autumn, but that's not really what I specifically think about when I think of the color orange, although you could tie that in, but I also think like maybe evening time, also maybe a nice evening out somewhere. I don't know, that's kind of the thing I kind of put together for the color orange. So I went with this fragrance here from the house of Savoir Faire. It's going to be Soul Cafe. Savoir Faire Soul Cafe. Now, to be fair, this does kind of smell like orange juice when you first spray it on. It does have blood orange in it, although that's more red than it is orange, but it has an orange vibe to it, so I do give it that. Juice is kind of orange, fair enough. But what I think is really nice evening, kind of dapper, enjoying the sun going down. Sky's a little bit more orange when that happens. So that was kind of my thought process. You could wear this in the fall. This is a nice fall fragrance. So if you're somewhere where leaves change in particular and you get the orange, red, brown leaves, could maybe tie it to that as well. But yeah, that's kind of what I went with this fragrance. It's also rather woody and a little bit spicy, kind of earthy as well. Has a nice coffee accord in this. Really enjoy this scent. Makes me think of the color orange because this one was kind of hard. I'm like, what do I put with the orange other than a fragrance that just smells like orange? And I thought this one might be a little bit more of an interesting choice because I was going to go with Terre d'Hermès. I figured that would be too easy. Once again, from the house of Savoir Faire for the color orange, this is Soul Cafe. All right, so the next color on the spectrum is going to be the color of yellow. For me, this is going to be, it's sunny out, it's hot out, summertime, so maybe a fragrance that works really well in high heat. Also, possibly has some citrus elements to it. Plenty that I could have put here, but I chose to go with this one from the house of Mancera. It is Vetiver Sensuel. Mancera Vetiver Sensuel. You can wear this fragrance any time of the year, but it really works well in high heat, in my opinion. Just this bouquet of citruses all combining together for this kind of watery citrus feel. There's also some mint in this. It's very refreshing. The vetiver in this I find to be kind of dry and not really smoky. It's mostly grassy, kind of like the earth might be on a nice summer day, but it's not like drought-like. But yeah, I love this scent. This is a great warm weather scent. Definitely makes me think of the color of yellow just because of how vibrant and bright the fragrance is. So once again, from the house of Mancera, this is Vetiver Sensuel. All right, so the next color on the spectrum is going to be green. Green should be pretty easy because you can just put a green fragrance here as far as I'm concerned. Earthy, leafy, vegetal even. Any green fragrance. From the house of Amouage, we're gonna go with this one here. It's Beach Hut Man, also my scent of the day. Amouage Beach Hut Man. So this fragrance is very green. It's kind of like a spicy mint fragrance. Features a lot of heavy green resins, galbanum in particular, which is very bitter and green smelling. This fragrance has some dryness to it, dry woodiness, dry earthiness. I mean, this is an easy choice in terms of if you want a fragrance to represent the color green, because I think this is one of the easiest categories if you're gonna put a fragrance to a color. Green, put a green fragrance with it. Easy choice, right? From the house of Amouage, once again, this is Beach Hut Man. All right, so the next one is gonna be the color of blue. Well, we're gonna put a blue fragrance to this, obviously. Why do we even call them blue fragrances? You know what, I kind of think just because blue in general is considered kind of a universal color that can work for anything. The planet's blue. If you consider blue with clothing, it can be formal and casual and work just as well either way. So for our fragrance choice, to not pick one that's so obvious, we're gonna go with one from Azzaro, and that's gonna be Chrome Extreme. Azzaro Chrome Extreme. Yes, the bottle is blue, but you were probably thinking I was gonna put Bleu de Chanel. Strong choice, but just figured I'd not be so obvious. So this one's more aquatic. It's quite cooling as well. A little bit of an orange flavoring to it. It's rather sweet and a little bit more dense than some of the other chrome flankers. Really the chrome line you can put into that blue fragrance category as well. Granted, overall a little bit more juvenile compared to some other popular blue fragrance offerings, but it still works the same for anybody as far as I'm concerned, and you can pretty much wear it to anywhere and anything. And it does make me think of the color blue. It's just kind of, blue in my mind is the versatile color and the versatile mindset. This is a blue fragrance through and through because it is very versatile. You can use it for anything. Once again, from the house of Azzaro for the blue color, this is going to be Chrome Extreme. All right, so the next color is going to be indigo. At first, I didn't really know how I wanted to characterize this, but after I thought about it a little bit, it's still basically blue in terms of the usability, but maybe a little bit more refined, a little bit darker, a little bit more character. We might call it a little bit more mature. So I went with this sit here from the house of Lorenzo Pizzaglia. It's Black Sea. Lorenzo Pizzaglia, Black Sea. So this one is aquatic, just like Chrome Extreme is, but a lot darker, a lot more heavy. It's got more green notes mixing with the aquatic nature of it. It's a lot saltier, not really any citrus-like elements to it. Kind of sweet, more so in the ambery side of things. It's also a little bit powdery. This is a much more mature, deeper aquatic scent, a lot darker as well. You can wear it anywhere, but it might not necessarily work for everybody. It might not just be for everyone. So I think it still has that versatility element. It's just a little bit more refined than your average blue scent. So once again, from the house of Lorenzo Pizzaglia, this is Black Sea. All right, and the last color on the spectrum is going to be the color of violet. For me, this is gonna be overall more of a darker mood, just a different vibe overall. It can be a number of different things though. This one can be kind of tough maybe for some people to understand, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I can see this color very easily in fragrances, and this is one I chose to go with. From the house of Amouage also, we've got Portrayal Man. Amouage Portrayal Man. Now this is a violet leaf fragrance, which violet is purple, or violet should I say. So, you know, you could say that's a bit of a cop out, but this one just has this fresh, albeit, but darker vibe to it. Matter of fact, if you consider violet and iris, they have a characteristic to them that really separates them from a lot of florals in my opinion, and I experience it as a purple mood, so to speak. A little bit darker in a weird way. But this one also has a lot of juniper and cade oil and vetiver, so it's just got this overall bright but dark mood to it, kind of a contrast, if you will. And purple is kind of one of those weird colors. Not too many people say purple or violet is their favorite color, I think because it's a weird color. And that's the same with the fragrance vibe that this gives off, and fragrances that kind of match that vibe. They don't necessarily have to be dark and heavy fragrances, but I would say a leather fragrance I would see as purple. Iris fragrances I certainly see as purple. And also, just kind of to close it out, there are fragrances that exhibit more than one color in my mind, so I didn't want to put those in that list. Hopefully I didn't do that. But for me, Portrayal Man, I think of the color violet when I wear this scent. So once again, from the house of Amouage, this is Portrayal Man. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below, do you agree with my choices? If you're familiar with them, what would you put for each color in the visible color spectrum as a fragrance that gives off that color as a overall vibe in your opinion? Certainly looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate you guys. Please remember to be well and smell well. And I'll see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.